Hey folks, so quick video here. There were actually garage sales here in the northern hemisphere that Canada finds itself in. And that was surprising because usually this time of year you don't get too many. But this one was actually inside a garage, so weather wasn't really an issue at all. Outside of that, I also had some really good luck getting with some vintage shirts at some of the smaller local thrift stores, which again, if you follow along, outside of, if you go back and look at some of the early videos that I had a big, huge 50 shirt vintage heavy metal band shirt score. You might want to go back and check that out because it's pretty amazing. But normally I only get a few vintage band shirts a year. It's not something I specialize in, but obviously I keep my eye out and I do pick it up. But I got a couple more this time, as well as some Pyrex, a really unusual Pyrex bowl, and just a bunch of other things from an estate sale that I hit as well. So yeah, we'll get right into it. Starting off, I came across this really thrashed. I mean, it is pretty much destroyed. No holes, but tons of stains, tons of fading. But it's a probably 1984 Judas Priest band shirt. It's got images from the Defenders of the Faith album, which came out in '84, I think. A little lion on the thing there. Double-sided, but it is exceptionally small. Probably runs in the extra small. What I usually do with extra small shirts like this is because vintage shirts, especially from the 1980s, were sized a lot smaller. I'll put them in, I list them on eBay and I'll throw them in the women's vintage clothing. And this one I put up last night and it's sold this morning, which is why I'm doing the video now before I have to pack it off. But yeah, that was a nice pickup. I think that was, I don't even know what it was, but it wasn't very much, thrift store pricing. Along with that was this same kind of thing, raglan or baseball shirt, more commonly known, 3/4 sleeve, Jack Daniel's whiskey with the Jack Daniel's on the arm, and on the back it just says if you drink, excuse me, Jack Daniel's, when you die you go to Tennessee, which wouldn't be so bad. I've been there, it's a nice place. Again, this one is in a little better shape, just nicely faded, a little bit of yellow to the arms, but a great shirt, tough to find. And then probably the best one that was there, now they charged more, they had a whole $10 on this guy. This is a 2000 new with tag, so basically it's new old stock, essentially, because there's the tag for it. Have a nice millennium and rock the millennium, because everything was about the millennium in 1999 and 2000. But yeah, there's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, WWF shirt, really nice shape. These wrestling shirts always go for really good coin, especially the early ones. Anything from the 90s, it goes crazy, like if you find an Undertaker shirt or something like that. So always keep your eye out for those when you're hitting sales. Or going through thrift racks. Wrestling stuff is always good, especially the vintage. The nice thing about this, it's a good size on an extra large tag. But again, how often do you find like new old stock wrestling shirts with the tags attached? This thing's just about perfect. So I went to a different thrift store literally on the same day. Now, I haven't come up with vintage shirts in a couple of weeks. And then one day I hit 2 small thrift stores and find a bunch. So this one is a cool ringer tee from Busch Gardens. And the front hit there is Scorpion, I've Been Stung. Now, Scorpion is the oldest running roller coaster in Busch Gardens in Florida. This thing is super thinned out. Single stitch on the bottom. Cuff obviously with the ringer, you can't, the stitching is going to be double stitch around the edges always, and it's on a dark continent tag, which is pretty cool. Never seen that before. And on the arm there's a little bit of graphics there too with the dark continent, Busch Gardens, Tampa. People collect theme park shirts, so this will go right along. This is an early one, probably. It said Scorpion was opened in 1980, and I think this is probably from the 80s. Pretty cool shirt there. Got some of the others here in a bag, because again, I only picked these up yesterday or the day before. So these just came through from the laundry. We'll go through them quick. This is nice wolf graphic on here, which is kind of cool. It's Timberwolf, Florida, which they do have wolves, but it's a really nice graphic, single stitch on the arms. It's Hanes made in the USA tag. What else we got in here? Again, these don't go for super money, but you know, I'm literally, it was stuff a bag for $5 at this one thrift store. So, yeah, you can't really pass out stuff like this. Here's another one that's Bourbon Street, New Orleans, the birthplace of jazz. Kind of cool 1990s vibe to it. Single stitch and on a softie, made in the USA again, medium size. This one's a little bit earlier. It's just Nevea. They were a sports equipment company, mostly did shoes. I think they had contracts with some NBA players in the 80s and 90s, like Clyde Drexler and people like that. This one, I think, is from the 1980s. It's made in Canada, 50-50, which usually indicates 1980s. Not always, but 50% polyester, 50% cotton tag. It's a good size for a vintage shirt, too, because I forget what it is on here. Large. So that usually fits at about a medium, but it's just the regular, just the company logo on there. And again, single stitch. This is my favorite one, but my wife stole it already. She's claimed it and I'm not allowed to sell it. Sorry about the bad camera work. It's this great deep V kind of ringer, great San Francisco graphic. I'm going to guess probably 1980s again because it is a 50% and 50% made in the USA T+. Single stitch on the bottom cuff down here if you're looking. Yeah. And just generally a really nice deep V shirt, vintage shirt. And then some of the ones I picked up were because I was trying to fill out the bag, but it's this one I think somebody will wear this ironically, world's greatest grandpa. Or, you know what, maybe not. Maybe somebody is actually thinks they're world's greatest grandpa and wear it. It's a Jersey's sweatshirt made in the USA. Probably 1990s, I would imagine. Right around there. But yeah, it's kind of cool. And then this one, just stuffed in there again just to fill out the bag, but I would have probably bought it anyways because I'm a huge Toronto Blue Jays fan. And Vladdy Guerrero should get the MVP this year if there's any justice in the world, but he probably won't. Toronto Blue Jays world champions when we won the World Series in '93. And there is that one's actually Fruit of the Loom, made in Canada. 50 cotton, 50 polyester, which probably, yeah, that's an earlier tag, but it is a 1993 shirt, Fruit of the Loom. Really nice thing. Not huge money, like, you know, eBay, 40, 50 bucks maybe on a good day. But yeah, that's it for the shirts. The rest of the stuff we're going to walk around the store with for a bit because I put it everywhere when I was getting it and I still haven't priced it up. Some of it I have, some of it I haven't. That was just from the thrift stores, from an estate sale, garage sale. I picked up this. It is a really nice, early, probably 1920s or 30s. I'm going to say probably umpires, chest protector. I say umpires because usually, not always, again, it's hard to tell. This could be just back catchers. But usually down here where my foot is, there would be a section that would come down to protect your crotch area on a lot of the back catcher stuff. The umpires usually didn't have that because they had the back catcher protecting their crotch. So yeah, usually this kind of thing indicates it. Leather on the sides, probably stuffed with horsehair. It wouldn't surprise me if it was. It's a Spalding, and that's a nice early Spalding tag, made in Canada too, which is really great. The straps are all there, and it's not in terrible shape for something that is, you know, this old. So that was kind of cool. I had 20 bucks on that at the garage sale, which I know seems like steep, you know, for a garage sale, a bit of a steep price, but you don't find this kind of stuff at garage sales very often. So yeah, I really wanted to grab that. This might stay in my collection. Actually, I have a few vintage sports equipment pieces in my collection. Yeah, so there's that. What else do we get? Oh, a really cool Morano glass. There is the remnants of the sticker still on it, or the foil staple. It's a heart-shaped hand-blown glass with sort of silver inflections on there. Again, anything you see with a Morano label is usually worth picking up at garage sales because the prices aren't going to be huge, and what you can ask for them sometimes will shock you. I don't know if this was supposed to be an ashtray or just like a beautiful accent piece. And again, from the same sale was this great, I'm going to assume ashtray, but it is Italian. There's the markings on there. It's hard to make out, but it is definitely made in Italy on there, with that beautiful vibrant yellow rim around the outside there. Again, Italian pottery, always pick it up when you can get it cheap. And when I'm saying, like, you know, because some of the pieces can sell in the hundreds if you've got the right ones. Anything labeled Raymore is nice to pick up. Obviously, any Batassi or anything that's just signed Italy with sort of a modernist feel to it, worth getting. Now, this was the only bummer of the day, was this really nice West German piece. And let this be a lesson that even some of us people who've been doing this for as long as I have, over 25 years now, miss things when they get excited about finding stuff. So there is, sadly, an edge chip underneath it. And that's, you know, that's, for me, that'll mean it'll probably stay in my collection, which is a good thing. But I like this. The little sort of red accents down there are great. And let's see, there it is. Carstens, I believe, is the thing, and it's Germany on there rather than West Germany, so it's probably later, actually. Still, really cool piece. Again, sadly for the chip, it'll mean I'll end up keeping this one myself, which isn't so sad for me. But so then, yeah, I also got a call from somebody who's downsizing their parents' estate, and they allowed me kindly to go around and have a look at stuff. And I did manage to grab a few things. This is awesome. It's this gasoline can. It's pretty old, wooden handle on there. Probably, again, you're looking at the pre-war or maybe just post-war. But the paint and the surface on this is great. That really cool gasoline typography on there. I mean, it's really a nice piece. And I've had a bunch of these over times. They sell on eBay fairly well. Check the comps on them. I think you'd be surprised, but even if not, like in the store, that'll go pretty quick, because usually it does. And also, see, there wasn't a lot there at the sale, but they said, you know what, if you want to go look in the old workshop, feel free. And that's where I got a lot of this stuff from. But this was sitting in the workshop, and I thought it was hilarious. This is a 1970s hoot bod from Tomy. I've had a bunch of these over the years. They're great. This one I haven't tested out battery-wise, but it doesn't even matter because it's just great. The eyes would light up, the head would move. But the neat thing about this one is it has the stand, which honestly, I didn't even know it had a stand originally. The guy comes off, he'll move around, but you can put him back, I guess, up on his, what would be a perch, because this is supposed to be like a bird or an owl. Yeah, they're fantastic. There's a bunch of different ones I've seen, like dogs, and there's one that puts coins in his mouth. It's a bank. Yeah, they are amazing. Fun little 1979, 1980s toys. I think this was in 79, but yeah, I'll have to check for sure on that. And then where else did I put stuff? Sorry, get a scan of the store there while you're here. Oh yeah, the other thing, in this warehouse, in this guy's workshop, and I tell people to always check this. They had a bunch of jars that they were using to hold things like various screws and nails and bolts and nuts. And I always check them, because usually they're old. And sometimes I've actually found, again, that in the past, glass ones that were for the York hockey cards from the 60s, which for card collectors, just like toy collectors, the boxes, the wrappers, any advertising is worth as much or more than the actual cards themselves. So yeah, that's for me. I was looking and I noticed they're plastic, so I was like, oh well. But then when I was a kid, right there, York Peanut Butter put out these round cards that they popped inside their the lids when the Empire Strikes Back movie came out, and I collected them as a kid. I still have this set, and it was really cool to find the original plastic jars. And I got two kinds, two different variations, one with a brown lid that is the crunchy version, and then the smooth version with the yellow lid. And again, these are probably worth more than the whole set of cards itself, because these were harder. People threw them out. Nobody said thought back then. Well, I did, my parents did, but to keep stuff like this. For some reason, we never kept any of these, or if we do, it's hidden away in our giant card collection. So it was kind of cool to grab those. So I just grabbed those. They were baffled, like literally baffled as to why I would want those. So some other things, great 45 bucks. They're remaking these and selling them for like $40, $50 at some of the record stores that I've been in lately. So I love coming across the original ones. There's some decent 45s in here. Nothing crazy good, but you know, just a few interesting ones on there. Some Bill Withers and some Soul and things like that on there. What's this quality label one? Oh, the crystals. Yeah, that's awesome. Quality label. I didn't pick up many tools because I don't really mess with tools that much. There were some blacksmith stuff which I grabbed, and then these. They're hand planes. They're early, and this is a Bailey Stanley. Bailey Stanleys are sort of the best name in planes from that era. Rosewood handles and knobs. They're still used by woodworkers today, and some of them can go for really big money, depending on the size. This one, which is a number 8, but unfortunately it has a Stanley blade, but unfortunately it doesn't have the Bailey markings on it. Still worth something, but if not, that would have been a huge score. But still worth picking up. And then what else? Oh, there are a few more tools down there which I don't think you can see. A brass blowtorch, oilers, some blacksmith tools. I always get the cast iron. These were kind of cool too. I've already hung them up, as you can see, just these hand sides. People love them for decoration because they do look like that. It looks great hanging on a wall. I think I got another one over here. Yeah. Yep. And what else we got? Oh yeah, a couple other pieces of glass over here. Nothing super exciting. Now, a stamp album. I don't mess with stamps all the time. For a while, you couldn't sell a stamp to save your life unless it was like a super high-end thing. But there has been a resurgence, and this is a nice early one. Not every page is full, but there are quite a few pages on there. And then there's a favorite of mine. An early Hank Williams. This is a 10-inch, 33 RPM album. This is what they used to put records out on after 78s and before LPs. Good selection, and it's in actually really nice shape. So the only other thing I got was actually a Facebook Marketplace pickup, and we'll spin around over to here to find that because it's under all these shirts that I just got out. So there were 3 bowls, 2 which were just your average Cinderella bowl. Nice little pattern on there. And there's 2 matching. So this one is worth picking up because, and by the way, once you see this, you'll never be able to unsee it again. Pyrex put this out, and almost immediately people began talking about that, which you know, slightly resembles a fetus. It's actually, if you look, a pear or some sort of fruit. I think it's a pear, yeah, all the way around to the outside. But as soon as you see the fetus right here, that's all you'll ever see again. And it's on here a couple of times because it's on the other side too. I think they stopped production on this pretty quick once people sort of noticed it. It's not like a rare piece, but it is kind of desirable just because it's freaky and odd. And yeah, it's a nice color too. It's a good bowl. So I had to pick that up when I saw it pop up on Marketplace. So yeah. So really, that's it. It was actually a pretty good week, especially for this time of year when with COVID, there aren't that many shows, collectible shows going on, and obviously garage sales have wound down. Yeah, so if you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section down there. If you could subscribe, that would be awesome too. My son is getting excited because, oh my God, Dad, we got over 50 subscribers. And, you know, I could be like a baseball or hockey star and he wouldn't care, because what's important to him is subscribers on YouTube, because those are his heroes. It's a strange world, but, you know, every kid, I guess every generation is a little different. So yeah, if you could subscribe, that would be great. I'll leave a link to the store's the Linktree link to the store's different media pages. We have a Facebook page, and we have a what else? Oh yeah, Instagram. Good Lord, and obviously the YouTube channel. So yeah, if you want to check out some of the stuff from inside the store, or you happen to be in Southern Ontario, come on out to the store here, Time Capsule. It's in Dunnville, Ontario. Come check it out. And yeah, I hope you all are able to find some treasures this week. And I hope this finds you all safe and happy. Have a good one. Bye.